NBC News in Washington, the longest-running show in television history. This is Meet the Press with Kristen Welker.
Good Sunday morning. Protests are growing across the country over President Donald Trump's hardline deportation policies. In Minneapolis this week, 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, an American citizen and mother of three, was shot and killed in her vehicle by an ICE officer. Caught on video from multiple angles, including from the officer who pulled the trigger. We do want to warn you, this video is disturbing.
I'm not mad. What? Show your face. I'm not mad. It's okay. We don't change our plates every morning. Just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I said go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Okay.
Out car. Get out. Get out of the car.
The Trump administration is asserting the officer acted in self-defense, while Minnesota officials strongly rebuke those claims, accusing ICE of excessive force.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is...
I'm not saying that funding some of this stuff justifies capital punishment. Nobody would suggest that. The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car and that guy acted in self-defense. That is why she lost her life, and that is the tragedy.
And joining me now is White House border czar Tom Homan, who was the acting ICE director in President Trump's first term. Mr. Homan, welcome to Meet the Press.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So the world has now seen that video, the perspective from the officer. I wonder, Mr. Homan, what do you see in that video?
Look, it's tragic. And I've said from March, if the hateful rhetoric doesn't decline, there's going to be bloodshed. I've seen this movie before. And unfortunately, I was right. There's been a lot of bloodshed. But look, you got to put yourself in the mind of the officer, right? You're in a city where there's protests, interference, impediment, like these two ladies were doing before this incident occurred. You're in a city where law enforcement response is sporadic at best. You got threats up over 1,300%. Actual assault on ICE officers. You got a woman behind the wheel of a 4,000-pound vehicle, revving her engine, going towards you. I truly believe this officer, in his mind, thought his life was in danger, which allows him to use lethal force. Now, I'll say this, let the investigation play out, right? There's a lot of video we probably haven't seen that the FBI has that we don't. Where's the forensics in the ballistics? That hasn't been unleashed. How about the officer's statements, his own statements? So we need to let this play out, but while we're doing that, we gotta stop the hateful rhetoric. Saying this officer's a murderer is dangerous. It's just ridiculous. It's just going to infuriate people more, which means there's going to be more incidents like this because the hateful rhetoric is not only continuing, now it's tripled down and doubled down.
Mr. Homan, let me ask you, because you have yet again here today said you want the investigation to play out. This is something you said in the immediate aftermath of this shooting. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem called this a, quote, act of domestic terrorism. President Trump said Renee Good, quote, violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. How can the public trust the investigation when there has already been this judgment passed down by the president and some of his top officials?
Look, we've all seen the video. And again, no one knows what's in that officer's mind. You don't, I don't, no one does. But we'll let the investigation play out. But bottom line is, why are we even there? Why are we in Minneapolis? Because it's a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state. Bill Maloogian from Fox News just brought a list of like 18 people, dangerous, worst of the worst that ICE has taken into custody. Many of them, child sodomy, child rape. ICE is out looking for dangerous people. It's not okay to impede and interfere with an officer. Would it be okay if a citizen impeded, interfered with a U.S. Marshal arresting a fugitive? No. Is it okay if they stood in before the FBI when they were arresting terrorists? No. These are targeted enforcement operations. They're arresting bad people, and it's illegal. Let's remember, what she did was a crime. It's illegal to interfere and impede ICE law enforcement officers. That's why we're there.
And yet what Minneapolis officials are arguing is that the way that ICE officials are carrying out their duties may be adding to the tension. Secretary Noem labeled this an act of domestic terrorism. What's the evidence for that allegation, Mr. Herman?
Bottom line is, again, why we're in Minneapolis. If they didn't have the sanctuary policies they had.
But do you have evidence that she's a domestic
let me finish
terrorist?
this, because this is important.